My name is Eric, and I'm a baseball card collector. Sure, it is a kid thing that normally a 9 or a 10-year-old would collect. But here I am in my 40s, and I'm collecting cards. Again. So here I am going through a divorce, being married for 19 years, having 2 kids, and being forced to move out of the only home I knew when I was married was kind of difficult. So I packed up whatever belongings my ex-wife had already thrown away and moved back to my parents' house. As I mentioned before, my ex-wife had thrown away my whole collection. To deal with my loss of my family and my newfound freedom, I decided to pick up a hobby. So I decided to collect baseball cards again, but I had to start with a plan. I didn't want to be like before, where I'd buy thousands of packs of baseball cards and have boxes upon boxes of baseball cards on shelves. And speaking of shelves, at my parents' place, I only had one small shelf and space was very limited. Collecting everything wasn't feasible or practical, and money was an issue since I was paying all the bills for my wife and my kids to live in our house that I wasn't even allowed to set foot in. So I decided to collect baseball cards from every year of Topps, starting in 1951 until today. This was something I wanted to do for years, but the wife had said no to it since she was in charge of the money and I wasn't allowed to have any. But that is another story for another topic, my friend. So I headed down to my local baseball card stores, plural, to check out what I was going to buy. So after buying 15 cards for $15 on July 11, 2023, my journey started. I decided that I wanted to go back to my roots. I decided that I wanted to buy the raw, low grade, and authentic or poor condition cards. Why? Because they look cool, they were cheap, and it was something that other people didn't want. Kind of like how I felt about myself. Since space was super limited, and I didn't want to go back to all of my roots, I had to get a binder to display my cards. I looked at all kinds of binders because of the limited space that I had. I needed something that could be expanded and still be compact. Sure, I could use a simple 3-ring binder, but I wanted my new collection to look good. I found this one on Amazon. It was a zipper closure as well as waterproof. The sheets were actually black, so it made the cards pop. The one I got holds up to 720 cards or 40 pages. I just bought one. Over the next 2 or so days, I started going back to the card shop and it ended up spending $65 for 45 cards, all of them 1969 or before. Pretty soon I was finding that this hobby is starting to get expensive. Then I found a new card shop 2 miles away and it soon became my place to go. It was like a TV show, Cheers. Everyone knew your name. The service was great and the prices were more affordable. Pretty soon I was getting 85 cards for $60. All of them from the 50s and 1960s. Knowing that I was going to be collecting 3 cards from every year that Topps made was going to be a daunting task. My goal was 219 cards, 72 years of baseball cards. That was the goal. At first. So if you like nostalgia and like baseball cards like me, go ahead and subscribe and make comments about why you like collecting. Follow me on my journey. I'm starting from scratch, and maybe you can give me some tips on collecting again. Thanks for watching.